can read this. I'm not going to read every single one of these to you, but the number one reason I support this project is because it's a locally owned business. I think everybody's touched on the economic impacts of this project, but everything about this project is local. It's locally developed, locally owned, locally managed, meaning profits are reinvested in this community, which is extremely important. It is in the Giz, which is part of downtown Hyannis zoning. A lot of people are saying this isn't part of downtown. This is, in fact, part of downtown. The red star on the right, you can see where the Giz zone's in, and it's there. And it is a half mile from the transportation center, less than a mile from the village green, and right next to the airport, as we all know. It'll have a positive fiscal impact to the town. We already discussed some of that. Real estate, room taxes, local construction jobs, over 200 of them, local permanent jobs, and an $18 million total private investment. Of course, as time goes by, that number gets bigger and bigger. The Tischler study, I'm not sure how many of you know about this, but in 2002, I have a copy here if anybody wants to see it. They did a study for the town that talked about fiscal impacts of certain kinds of businesses, and it noted that non-residential hotel, the revenue, the cost, the net infrastructure impact per room to the town is positive by $35. So there's $4,620 net positive fiscal impact per year to the town, according to Tischler. And there's only hotel use is one of only 4 non-residential uses with a positive fiscal impact to the town. The others are business parks, office building, and specialty retail. Number 4, why I support this project. It improves existing blight. We all talk about the blight and what it looks like. The little arrows, this is existing, looking from Spring Street to the back of the property up against the residential border. Manages better road access. Mr. Bornstein's expert already talked about the open curb cuts. These are the Spring Street open curb cut in Route 28. And it will beautify the area. I just took these pictures a couple of weeks ago. There's nothing beautiful about it here. The developer has said it will help. The regulatory agreement is nowhere close to complete. He talked about beautifying portions of Route 28 in addition to the on-site improvements, contributing to traffic management, maintaining a shuttle bus service, which we heard about tonight, and contributing to an offset, which has yet to be determined. This was the previous traffic study that was referred to tonight. They talked about having less than 1% impact, 25 vehicle trips at peak hours. This is a planned improvement for intersection. This is part of the Hyannis access study that Ray referred to. This is a plan not accepted yet, okay, a plan for the Willow Street intersection, which talks about the western improvements and how this could really help. We already talked about the height and the higher buildings. I didn't have any idea these guys were going to do that, so you're seeing it here. This is the massing model that was presented by Joanna and the Cape Cod Commission at one of our previous meetings, where you can see this is the residential neighborhood we're looking at here, and then you can see the height of the proposed building. That red line there is up to the bottom of that red line is allowable height by zoning right now. That's legal, and everything above the line is what the applicant is asking for a waiver. So obviously any building built up to height would have some impact on the neighborhood. Crunching my head here when people are talking about garbage pickup coming early in the morning. I think the reg agreement, one of the first things we wrote in there is that they can't come early in the morning because we don't want to wake the neighbors up, okay? So I just said the neighbors' concerns have been heard. That's already included in the reg agreement. That could change, obviously, because everything in there is up for change. That's lights. They have already approval from the FAA and the Mass Aeronautics Commission, so there's no height issue about the airport. There's less footprint on this site than what exists now. There's currently 54,000 square footage of footprint, and the new building will have 22,800. That's a 58% decrease, and it's landscaped on all 4 sides. Significant green building attributes. We didn't talk about that tonight, but we've had that in the record before, so I included that in here. Okay, not plenty of water, but there's sufficient water at this time for this. So as of now, although there needs to be an improvement in the water for future development beyond this, so far we're permittable, or this project is permittable. There has been discussion already further down the road on Route 28. It happened with Guaranteed Fresh Produce, where they needed a reg agreement to go in there because their use was not permitted. And the planning board basically had a very brief discussion as to whether or not we should review the zoning there. What we decided was that the zoning there didn't serve, but we wanted to see what came along and see what other kind of issues existed in the next, because it's only 2 years old, so maybe this is going to be under discussion too. There's been no projects development proposed for the Hyannis Gateway District till this project came along. By right uses in the Highway Gateway District is banks, restaurants, multifamily housing, mixed-use professional office buildings, traffic-neutral retail and medical clinics, and business support service less than 5,000 square feet. The question is, if we're discussing zoning, are these appropriate? Do we really want another restaurant or bank? Those are by right. The bank is closed. That's the top picture. And that bottom one I couldn't resist. It's the 50s pictures of Mildred's, for all of you that remember that. Long gone. This is a multifamily housing possible use. This is an allowed use. Does that belong on a state highway across from the airport? That's a question. This is a statement on regulatory agreements. They're quid pro quo. The applicant agrees to provide certain benefits to the town, and the town in turn agrees to provide certain protections from changes and assistance in streamlining the local regulatory improvement process. With this project, and I know Mr. Munsell's referred to this a few times, the applicant referred to it a few times, tonight also. This application and this applicant's been treated differently for this particular regulatory agreement. I've sat in on several of them, and there have been changes in issues that didn't exist on the previous ones. In conclusion, these are the reasons that I support this project. Local jobs, local reinvestment, local ownership, little traffic impact, improve the neighborhood, beautify the area. You can read the rest of them. I think we've gone over them. This was prepared by me, and it was supported by the following individuals or entities. So I just wanted to put that into the public record. Created it a while ago. Not all the information is totally up to date. And I thank you for your time.